everybody, it's James here, over the Part-Time Entrepreneur, and welcome to the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button and make sure that you get all of my video updates. Now today we're going to have a look at the Fansunite ICO. So Fansunite is an online sports betting platform based on the blockchain. Now why are they doing this? Well, there's a few reasons. The first one is the fees. So traditionally in normal sports betting, there are hidden fees that you just don't see. And obviously that impacts your profitability and also your break-even point as well. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail later. The other thing is that they limit the big bettors. So those that do it, there's a lot of people out there that bet professionally and they bet big. I know I used to date a girl many years ago who used to work for Gala, and they owned some of the big betting shops. And that they had people putting 20, 100 grand, 150 grand on a game or a race. And they would limit those guys, or they would have to make phone calls. And the surprising thing is, a lot of them were footballers. Now the other thing is, it's going to be decentralized, because obviously centralized data is easily hacked. And if you'd seen my recent review on data, that really highlights the reason why we should be decentralized. And the other thing is transparency. And we know through the blockchain that there's no funny business going on, and it can all be traced. So the other thing that Fansunite is trying to do is, there's 400 billion gambled illegally last year. That's from the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver. It doesn't matter if you make something illegal. They still do it. They had prohibition. They still went out and drank and all the rest of it. So all these things are still going on. Where actually, it could be a great thing for us, maybe something like the US, where they can tax it. And then obviously that money goes back into the marketplace and stuff. Because the thing is, if you just tell people that they can't do it, they're going to do it anyway. And then if you look at some of the sports betting profits, it was over 70 billion in 2016. I mean, those numbers are just so far apart, it's unbelievable. And only if things changed, then, the revenues from the gambling that's happening anyway could actually have a benefit rather than a negative effect. So how are Fansunite trying to address this problem? Well, first of all, they're going to make sports betting cheaper to do. So instead of charging the 6 to 10% that's traditionally charged, they're going to charge 1%. The fact that it's all on the blockchain, and this is going to be on the Ethereum blockchain, that it's going to be completely secure and decentralized, which is great. And then the other thing, because of that, it will be completely transparent. So one of the things that they're able to do is, because they're charging less in fees, they're able to offer better odds. So that's better for the consumer. And that's going to obviously attract people away from traditional type of bets like Paddy Power and those types of things. So this is where, if you're talking about, well, why are people going to switch? Well, it's because of the better odds. And if there's better odds, you're going to do it. The other thing is that you're going to be able to earn rewards through Fansunite by earning their token, and that's done through, obviously you can use it for betting, and also they have a community program where you can earn loyalty points, and that's like helping others. And the real big thing is obviously by sharing your profile, so then people can do things like copy trade. So you see this very much in other platforms where people can copy, like especially trading now, the top traders, you can copy all what they're doing and all the rest of it. And it's the same here. You can actually copy people's bets. So if you find someone that's betting and they're winning loads, you just copy what they're doing. And then there's little comments where they can put rationales why they've picked, so-and-so to bet many times or whatever it is. But then you can start sharing this information and earn through their community. So we talked about this before, about breaking even earlier. So what does that mean? In traditional platforms as they stand now with all their fees, you need to win 11 times out of 10 to break even. However, on this platform, if you win 11 times out of 10, you're actually in profit. And that's because of all the fees, the better odds, and the whole package that they bring together. So actually, technically, you could win more. So we can see here, I love my data. We can look at global gambling and losses per individual, and also as a total country as well. You can see here, obviously, Australia have the worst losses, probably because they're betting on the cricket against England, obviously. No, I'll probably get a few people pipe up about that one, but hey, I've got a few Aussies in my group, they'll understand. And then again, you've got Singapore, Finland, New Zealand as well. That surprises me. But you can see on the right-hand side, the total losses. So, as always with gambling, it's a very profitable industry. So what are the trends with gambling? Well, there's only one trend, and that is up currently. And now, if we look at some of the key markets that these guys are going to try and play in, which is the Asian market. So first of all, we can see a huge increase over the last 10 to 20 years. And also they're going to target Europe. Now, Europe is a little bit more static in terms of numbers. However, they're going to attract people from the Paddy Powers, the Betfreds, because they're going to be offering better odds and instant payments, less fees, all the stuff that we talked about. So again, a huge trend, and I see this being even more popular in the future. Now, as always, I like to have a look at the team. Now, the guy that really stands out for me is Safin. Now, this guy has 350 people working for him. He's done 100 million in sales. He has a fantastic track record. He's been involved with, I think it's about 22 different startups, including Y Combinator. So he has very big links, and obviously Y Combinator, anybody linked to that generally always does pretty well, because obviously that's the Silicon Valley, all the hedge guys get in there and everything. So for me, he is the #1 pick on this team. He is the superstar. Now, the other guy that stands out is a guy called Stephen Rothwell. Now, he's like the more technical guy, and he has something called Saber Cruncher. Now, I did a whole bunch of research trying to find how profitable that business was, what he's doing and stuff. I mean, I can't find too much, but the fundamentals of what they do, they look at heat maps. So they look at probability to try and figure out, is someone going to hit the ball or not hit the ball in the very most sort of simplest ways. And he does all the technical stuff for that. So again, he stuck out very well because he already has something, a working product, not sure how profitable or how successful it's been, but it would tie in very nicely with Fansunite. So the two guys that run this company are Darius and Duncan. Now, I've been in the Telegram group and they seem incredibly friendly, incredibly helpful. Now, I dig deep and I dig far on this channel, and I have special connections where I can find out things, which is good because it enables me to give you all the information. Now, Fansunite Media doesn't look like it's trading. Now, that's not to say it isn't, because they had a credit rating and a risk rating, which means that they're obviously live in some format. It's just I couldn't find like sort of data in terms of how profitable they are and all the rest of it. So again, this probably alludes to the fact that they had some seed funding and they probably haven't made that much money as to date. And the other thing is in 2016, they had a legal suit against them by someone called Andrew Payne. Now, how relevant this is, I don't know. What is it related to? Again, I don't know. All I know is that I found this information, but it was just something that I found. And again, if I find something, I share it with you and I give you the absolute full picture. But overall, I think the team looks pretty tight. There's some, I think, having Safin in is, these guys, I think, need someone to be able to show them how to take the company to the top. And it's great that these guys have brought him in because they probably realise that they need a mentor potentially to help them to take them to that level. And a lot of people are doing it in this space. So if you look at someone like Julian at 10x, he's in with the guys at Airbnb. So everybody's getting a mentor to help them to take them to the next level. And that's what I really like about this, because if you've got a company CEO that goes, I know it all, I'm going to do it, and then they don't deliver success, I don't want to see that. I want to see people say, do you know what, I don't know it all, and I'm going to bring in people that do know it and have done it and will create success for this business. And that's what I really like. So these guys have got some strong competition already. The first one is Peer Plays. They're already at $14 a token, but what we really need to look at is that there's only 5 million in supply. Now, these guys have just signed a partnership with the Vegas Kings bookie as well. So again, some real strong competition out there. The other one is Wagner. Now, Wagner's USP is that every time the token is used, some of the token is burnt. Therefore, over a long period of time, the more bets that are made, the more tokens that are burnt, and therefore it will go up in value. And obviously with Fansunite, theirs is very different. Theirs is all about community and recycling and putting those tokens back into the community so people can keep betting. So if you're sharing your profile, you can earn tokens, and a very different look and feel to how these guys are running it. And it all depends on what your investment I suppose strategy is. Are you looking for quick wins, or are you looking for that long-term community? Because we know if you grow a community around something, then you've got longevity, which is what you really want from this. We're going to have to be a little bit patient with these guys in terms of timeline, but that might have an advantage, because while the others are out there slogging it out, trying to get people to come across, by the time these guys go live, there'll be more adoption and more people. I know that I've gambled in the past and I have maybe 7 or 8 different accounts. I don't just use one. So I know that longer term that this might be a benefit while these guys really refine what they're doing. But they will be open for the World Cup. And again, $1 billion is bet on the World Cup. So again, a huge opportunity for them to showcase their product. I mean, we're not going to see, some big stuff until September 2018, where they're basically focusing on very much the American sports, and then the full launch in January 2019. So this is a longer term hold. So let's have a look at the ICO. So there's going to be 400 million tokens. 200 million will obviously go out to the community to be able to purchase. Then there's going to be 120 million that will go into the supply pool. Now, obviously, with betting, you're up and you're down. And also with the house, they're up and they're down. And this is what the supply pool is like, a buffer. And if the buffer goes over, then they use those tokens and they resupply them back into the community as part of their program that they have. There's 30 million for marketing and incentivization, and 50 million will be held back. Now, if you get in early, you're going to get a really good deal on this. So if you get in at the 4,000, then you're going to get them at 30 cents a token based on the current Ethereum price. If you leave it till week 4, it's going to cost you 48 cents to get in. Now, bear that in mind. These guys are looking to raise roughly around about 5 to 7 million, which I think is an acceptable amount. I don't like to see these companies going for 100 million and all this because they don't need it. These guys are obviously going for what they need, and that is a huge amount to get them going on this platform. So what are the cons that I see with Fansunite? Well, the first one is that I can't find much financial history. Not a big red flag at this moment in time. Obviously, they're a seed startup and all the rest of it, so I don't want you to take this as a red flag. They do have a previous lawsuit. I would love to understand what that is, but I just don't know how relevant it is to this. So again, don't take it as a red flag. Take it as information that's been shared. They've got some stiff competition. This is the big one. So, but saying that, in the outside world, outside of cryptocurrency, you have so many different gambling sites and they all do incredibly well. So there is room for at least, I would say, 10, even 15 cryptocurrency gambling online sites that will do incredibly well. And the other thing is that they're going to be late to the market. But as we talked about before, that could work both ways in a sense, in terms of a benefit or a bit of a con. Not too many. I think the big one is just the competition at this moment in time. So what are the pros? They're going to have cheaper fees, better odds, which is going to attract a whole bunch of people. They're creating the community. And for me, if you create community, you get longevity. You get longevity, that is great for your investments. Now, these guys have got Safin on board. Now, I think he is going to be the guy that's going to take this company to the top. I think, he's the gold dust. He's the #1 star in this team. And the other thing is the profile sharing. I really like that. There's a lot of other platforms that do that now where you can, especially copy trading, where you can copy the other successful people and what trades they're doing as well. Again, another good thing is that they have a great white paper. So please check it out. Do your own research as always. Remember, this channel isn't giving you financial advice. It's only giving you some educational stuff that you can go away and do your own research. Lots of great things in here. If we go back here, you can see that they're based in Gibraltar. A lot of the gambling companies do that for tax reasons, yet they are a Canadian-based company. So, yeah, lots of different things that you can have a look at there as well. These guys also have a great website, so please check it out. It goes through all the key information. There's a nice little video where you can understand what Fansunite are trying to do. They also have a bounty program as well, so if you want to get on board with the marketing and help, give these guys exposure, there's all of these different things that are happening. You can check out the full roadmap that they've got as well, going all the way back to January 2014, so you can see exactly where these guys started. As always, guys, if you love the channel, please like, comment and share. You can follow me at jamesbull_UK on Twitter, and we have our free Facebook group, which is PTE Cryptocurrency Community. And today's video has been brought to you by Crypto Rookies, so you can head over to their website and check out their new educational platform. Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.